as soon as you're 18.
Yeah, my question is, I have applied for PCSO. I have passed the interview and also the medical checks and the physical test. But it's been quite a while, and I don't know how long it takes for the vetting to complete, or what, for example, can I expect from the vetting?
Question about PCSO and vetting. It's taken quite a while. So Giovanni, is she there? Hang on, I'm looking at the screen. Yeah. So you say it's taken quite a while for your vetting. Vetting is a really interesting thing, and forces are getting more and more risk averse now. They're getting more and more risk averse. We feel as though vetting is getting harder. We know that some serving police officers who originally had vetting when they joined are being re-vetted and failed. They're being failed on vetting. They're being re-vetted and failed. And if you fail vetting whilst you're a serving police officer, that's it. You're out. You're out. You're not being dismissed because of gross misconduct. You're being dismissed because you no longer can comply with the requirements of the organisation, which you must be compliant with all the vetting requirements. It's not happening with many, but there's a few people that's happened to, and they've come to us for support, and we've just gone and see a federation, go and see a police federation. Yeah, but they're not doing anything. Or I didn't sign up for the federation. Hey, that's your fault. We don't say it like that, but for all of you, once you're in the police, do join the police federation. It could save your career one day. So vetting is getting tougher. There's less appetite for risk. Why? Because they don't want someone coming into the police service who presents any kind of risk of embarrassment or being involved in criminality or just anything like that. And there's plenty of people behind you in the queue, so they can afford to be choosy. I'm not saying that's happening with yourself, Giovanni, but it could be just that vetting's taking a while and it could be just as simple as there's 2 people off sick at the moment in the vetting department. And it's as simple as that. It's taking longer than normal because they're stuck and they can't get anyone to come in. It's not as if they can go to agency staff and say, go to Reed Agency and say, can you provide some individuals who can do vetting? You've got to be, it's quite a skilled thing to have those vetting skills. Or it could be that there's something complicated in your background that they're looking into, or it could be just something as simple as your reference. You've got to provide a reference or 2 references. One of them's not replied yet. So warm up your references. Let them know that at some point vetting are going to get in touch with you, and they don't want a big long song and dance. It's just like confirming, did you work at this place between this time and this time? And they might ask something about any misconduct issues, or they might ask something about attendance, and that's it. They don't want a write-up. They just want to confirm you were there and confirm there was no misconduct issues and confirm there's no absence issues. And you've got to declare all of those things anyway on the vetting form. And what will fail you is if you don't declare something and then an organisation comes back and says, yeah, so there's been 2 misconduct issues over the past year. And what else won't wear on vetting is things like, oh, I forgot that I got arrested when I was 15. It was no further action, but I forgot I got arrested. No, you didn't. No one ever forgets they were arrested. How can anyone forget they were arrested? You just can't. And so they will fail you on vetting there because you didn't declare something that was asked for. Any arrests, contact, charges, cautions. Don't think, I had someone the other day saying, if I apply to another force because I failed vetting in one, do I have to tell them about the things that failed me the first time? Yeah, duh, end of conversation, mate, because they're the police and you'd be lying, which is just like a no. It's just like a no. If there's any suggestion that you've been lying, you're out. That's it. And you've failed vetting forever. No force is ever going to take you on. Someone's just asked a question about contacts. Good question. Some forces will ask about police contact. Others don't. But there should be some parity now because the College of Policing are introducing a national vetting form. But the problem previously was there's 50 different versions of vetting form. And it caused all sorts of confusion because we've successfully helped people appeal a failed vetting. And the reason why they failed their vetting was because they didn't declare police contact. So something like, I reported a burglary, or something like, I was a witness in something, or something like, I was actually the victim of domestic abuse, or something like I was stopped and searched twice over the past year, or something like my car was stopped for speeding and I've got a speeding ticket. That's all police contact. However, the form said all police arrests, cautions, um, final warnings, and did I say arrests? Yeah, arrests, cautions, charges, final warnings. It didn't say police contact. And so we appealed it successfully to say that if you'd asked the question, any police contact, this person would have said all of these things. But you didn't ask that question. They answered your question to the letter of what you asked for, and they succeeded in their vetting. Other people that succeeded in the past, one of our clients years ago, he was in his 40s, he'd gone through an acrimonious divorce when he was in his 20s, and he went to pick up his young girl from the mum's house and took her away for the weekend. And the mum reported that she'd been abducted. And he was stopped in the car and he was arrested and taken to the police station. And at that point, the kiddie was saying, "Where are you taking daddy? Where are you taking daddy?" And by the time they got to the police station, the officers were like, "You can't abduct your own child." And then once they'd worked out that this was his child, he was NFA'd, free to go. That's not what failed him. What failed him was he put the wrong year down. He'd made a mistake. He was 1 year out, and they failed him because he put the wrong year down, which was just ludicrous. He applied to another force, and they failed his vetting appeal as well. He applied to another force who just went, "That's ridiculous. Welcome." He's now actually a bit of a poster boy for that force. I'm not going to say which force it is because I don't want to embarrass him and stuff, but he's a bit of a poster boy for that force, and he's doing really, really well. All right, and no vetting can't be transferred from one force to another. Every force will do their own vetting.